I guess this story would be probably called one of life's most embarrassing moments. Years ago, when I was just a teenager, Brenda and myself, we went on a trip to Detroit, and that's back in the days when you carried shoes and things in shoe boxes. Well, I didn't like my dirty underwear in with, or dirty clothes in with the clean ones, so I carried them in the shoe box. We're walking through the train station, and somebody said to me, "Oh, look," and here the bottom had come out of my shoebox. And I'm so embarrassed, and here's all my dirty underwear trailed right through the train station, and here I am going picking them all up, and I couldn't look at anyone. And we got on the train and just laughed and laughed at 17 years old.
That's terrific. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, this is a story about my sister coming to Peterborough, and I've always told my sister how interesting Peterborough is. Lots of different things going on, the university, the arts scene. So we were driving down, and I was describing to her. And as we got to the outskirts, I thought, what a good introduction to Peterborough to turn on Trent Radio. So we turned it on, and it was the Country Cousins Radio Hour with Washboard Hank and his cousin Jeff. And just as we're coming up George Street, listening to the show, Washboard Hank jumps out of Trent Radio with a microphone and the long cord. He's standing right on the edge of George Street. My sister is listening to this on the radio, laughing her head up. And Washboard Hank is doing a weather report, looking up at the sky, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit rainy. And then he ran back in the studio. But that was sort of my sister's first introduction to Peterborough. I thought that's wonderful to sort of meet Washboard Hank on the side of George Street. That's it.
Well, the Great Ontario Beer Strike was in its 21st day, and all the Red Dog chubbies were fading clear away. For weeks they'd been denied the drink they love so dear, so they turned to Red Dog Ray and said, "Would you get us some more beer?" Well, Red Dog Ray, he swore, "By gosh, by gum, by heck, I'll get my chubby's beer if I have to go to old Quebec." So Darcy, the French waiter, he told him what to say, and thus began the famous midnight ride of Red Dog Ray. Was a midnight ride of Red Dog Ray. Was a midnight ride of Red Dog Ray. Well, he drove down Highway 7 to our nation's capital, and he slipped across the river to the town that's known as Hull. And he tried hard to remember those words he had to say. Pardonnez-moi, mon Dieu, mon frère, I need some beer today. Well, René Levesque gave him some, but still he wanted more. Said, "What the heck, I'm in Quebec, I'll go to the corner store." He filled his station wagon till the springs were sagging low, and he headed down the highway to thirsty Ontario. Was a midnight ride of Red Dog Ray. Was a midnight ride of Red Dog Ray. He was singing a song about Scotland, homeland of his birth, when the cops, they pulled him over just the other side of Perth. And ever so politely, Ray asked, "Is there anything wrong?" Then the cop said, "Roll your window up if you're gonna sing that song." Well, the OPP, he turned away, his fingers in his ears, never even noticed that carload full of beers. So Ray just kept on singing, and soon he reached his bar, and the chubbies shouted out for joy when they saw the beer-filled car. Was a midnight ride of Red Dog Ray. Well, Red Dog Ray, he saved the day, and you can hear the chubbies say, "Hip, hip, hooray for Red Dog Ray."
Awesome.
So we were really jumpy, is about the simplest way I can put it. So we would turn on the flashlight in little bursts, because the battery was dying, to get a sense of where we were. And the first 3 times that we turned on the flashlight, we were like 5 meters away from hitting something that was just frickin' creepy, like a tiny little island with a like tree growing out of it, like mist rising, or this little decrepit houseboat that someone had assembled themselves. It was like built on 18-liter jugs of Rocky Ridge water. Swear to God, during this time, we saw unexplainable lights zigzagging around the sky, and we're just like, okay, it's a night of insanity. We're seeing UFOs now, whatever. That's just a side part. But I really have to throw that in there because it's true. We saw, like airplanes can't make these things, satellites don't do this. They're moving way too fast in the sky, and they were way too far away. Anyway, so that was quite interesting as well.
Crazy.
Yeah.
My grandfather was the first person to go on the lift logs in a canoe, so he and I think his brother went up and then down in a big boat parade. Pretty exciting for that. Yeah.
The story that I had was Grandma and Grandpa Murphy. Their house burned down in September 1933, I think. And my uncle at the time, Janie, was trying to preserve the china, and he was throwing it out through the back kitchen window. And of course, outside there was a stone pile, and everything landed on the stone pile, and all the dishes were broken. So the only thing they saved in the house was Grandma and Grandpa's coon coats, and that was it. So they had to go and live in a log cabin, I think, and they rebuilt the house. On Friday nights, they were all very musical. There was 9 of them, and they always had a dance on Friday nights at the homestead. So they made their own fun sort of thing. Very lively group. But other than that, at the moment, I can't think of anything.
He had a horse and buggy, and I had my trike. I was going, I'd stopped at a stop sign, and he was crossing. He waved to me like he had the neat little closed buggy they have with the little hat on, you know, the straw hat. And he saw me, and I waved to him. I pulled in behind him, and then he was going along. I was going about 12 miles an hour. You work that out in kilometers. I was going about 12 miles an hour, and anyway, I was starting to overtake him. And I thought, well, I better go around him then, because I'd heard that horses and buggies, the average speed is about 8 miles an hour. So I thought, he's going to be, you know, I better go around him and pass him. So I went to pass him. I passed him and I waved. I'm on down the road, and all of a sudden I hear clip-clop, clip-clop, clip-clop coming behind me. I could hear the steel wagon wheel rims grinding on the pavement, clip-clop, clip-clop, grind, grind, grind. I looked in my rearview mirror. He's catching up on me. And the horse is going, I thought, wow. So I put the pedal to the metal. I'm pedaling like hell. I go up this level, or I go up this hill. It's just starting to go up a hill, and I thought, oh man, I'm slowing down now. I can see my speed going down on my speedometer, going down, down, down like this. And then, and I saw him also. He started to slow down too. I thought, oh, good, you know, because he must have a buggy full of whatever besides his horse. So they had to slow down going uphill too. So I got to the top of the hill, and I knew I was away, because horses can't freewheel, but bicycles can. So I whipped down the hill about 30 miles an hour, and then I got down to the bottom of the hill there, and I looked back in my rearview mirror, and I just saw the silhouette of him. He was at the top of the hill, him and his horse and buggy, and he gave me a big wave. I gave him a wave back. It was kind of a fun thing. That's it.
He was Peter's real good pal. He said, Pete, I'm tired of walking. Could you dig the Trent Canal? Now Pete, he dug her quick, and he piled up all the fill. Then he made a great toboggan run, and we call it Armour Hill. Peterborough's greatest groundhog of them all. He lives in a groundhog hole right under City Hall, right under City Hall.